The time is right, the situation is right, and right now is the perfect opportunity for the Pittsburgh Steelers to go out and grab a big wide receiver in a big time trade here on a Wednesday. Welcome back, everybody. This is Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason. As always, make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel, and continue to help us build our community of thousands of Steeler fans. But we are here yet again on a Wednesday, and the Pittsburgh Steelers find themselves in a perfect situation, if you ask me. A situation in which they could go out there and add somebody to this wide receiver room. There are several names being tossed around, the biggest one now being Cooper Kupp. DeAndre Hopkins is in that mix. You're hearing Mike Williams. And my dark horse that I think is a potential really big one is Garrett Wilson. I really, truly think that if the Pittsburgh Steelers went out and made a real effort at getting Garrett Wilson, that would be a good move for the now, for right this second, this season in 2024, and potentially a long-term thing. I think Garrett Wilson could definitely provide what you're looking for in a true number two behind George Pickens. And yeah, you might be putting a lot of money into that wide receiver room eventually, but I think it would be really, really good, considering maybe you could continue to do business with Calvin Austin, adding that, Garrett Wilson, Calvin Austin, George Pickens. That room really starts to get exciting just to hear those names. I think it would be something very, very cool for Russell Wilson if you plan on doing business with him for the next couple years here to try to open a Super Bowl winning, a playoff type winning team here, open up a window for that here over the next few 2-3 seasons to finish up Russell Wilson's illustrious career. But all these names being tossed out of there, out of the media, who's the most realistic and who really provides the Steelers with what they're looking for? In my opinion, it's either Garrett Wilson or Cooper Kupp in my eyes. Those are the two names that if I were the Steelers, I'd be trying to go after, is Cooper Kupp or Garrett Wilson. I think those would make the most sense in my eyes. However, Cooper Kupp is more of a slot receiver type guy, but he's a Super Bowl MVP, a Super Bowl winner. A guy that has done it, man. A guy that has done it at the highest level. A guy that is a superb, excellent route runner. A guy that can get open, exploit one-on-one opportunities. A guy that would take a little bit of heat off of George Pickens. And rumors are he's available, and the Rams have to do this, guys. Why? Because they have their backs against the wall. They have to rebuild their franchise right now. They went all in to win a Super Bowl and to play and to really open up that window with Matthew Stafford. But that window now is past, and now they have to focus on rebuilding. And what are they going to do? Dump players off, dump contracts, try to recoup some draft capital that they spent in order to gain the roster that they had that was able to win a Super Bowl title. Now they find themselves in a situation in which they're going to be asking high prices to get their guys to recoup some of that. Now, are the Steelers willing to go with this asking price? Rumored to be a second-round pick. And possibly, potentially, the Rams would be able to pick up some of Cooper Kupp's, I think, $27 million salary. Potentially, that could be the case. And if you're the Steelers, you know how you like to build through the draft, and are you willing to give up a second-round pick, and does it make sense? For any of these guys, does it make sense? I think the situation right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers is one in which it does make sense. I think there is a window open right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers to really capitalize and go really legitimately chase after that 7th Lombardi trophy. I think the situation right now for the Steelers is one in which that doesn't come around very often. Next year in 2025, you have an exuberant amount of cap space, which is absolutely amazing. And right now, you have two quarterbacks that are on very cheap deals, a excellent defense, a super special teams group that has been game-changing for this team throughout this 24 season so far. And I think right now, as the Pittsburgh Steelers embark pushing toward this back half, one more game before the bye, I think they find themselves in a situation to where they are just a couple pieces away to really be ultra competitive here in the back half of the season and potentially late into the winter. And that's what you're looking for. If you're Omar Khan or Mike Tomlin and you're this Steelers franchise, you're looking for those windows. You're looking for those times to where everything, all parts of the equation make sense. And right now, everything makes sense. Just speak it out. Talk about it. Say it in your head. Everything makes sense right now, but you have to get the right guy. You can't go out there and overspend for a guy that's going to be injured all season, that's going to be not a major contributor. You can't do that. If you're going to spend and you're going to risk it and you're going to put it all in here to really chase a Lombardi in this year, you got to go out there and get somebody that matters. Excuse me. But if you're the Steelers, there's some names out there that could really, really excite you. And again, the Steelers will have money to do this. Do they have all the cap space sitting in front of them? No, but they can make it real quick and in a hurry. They could get it really fast, man. They can move some things around, renegotiate with some guys very, very quickly, and they could come up with all the money like that. It wouldn't be a problem. So don't even worry about that cap space, anything like that. They would make it work. And now moving forward, they would be able to do it too, again, because they have a lot of cap space in 2025 that they could start spending now, frankly. But here it is. The Steelers, which decision does it make most sense to, which player does it make most sense to bring in here? I think you are looking for a more edge type guy as opposed to more of as opposed to like a slot guy. But if there is a guy like that, like a Cooper Kupp that's more of a slot type receiver, and you bring him in here, he will instantly upgrade this room, guys. He will be able to provide George Pickens with less double teams and be able to take some of that heat off of him. He will be able to be that excellent route runner that we've been able to see over the years throughout his career. And I think he will be able to be a major contributor instantly for the Steelers. I think it does make sense, guys. And I know it potentially isn't, some big, huge, tall, super freak athletic guy on the edge, but I don't think you need that right now. I think you need a guy like Cooper Kupp that's a real technician at what he does, a guy that is going to get open more times than not, a guy that is going to come up big in big moments, that has been on the biggest stage. I think that's what you're looking for if you're the Steelers. I think you're looking for right now, if you're going all in on this and you really think that this team got a good chance, you want a guy like that. You want a guy that is a tactician, man. A guy that is on that same page as Russell Wilson. You want to bring that Super Bowl pedigree into that building, even more than what you have now with Russell. A guy that is going to be able to tell these others, this is the path you got to follow. This is the way it gets done. This is the work you have to put in. And I would be ultra excited about it, but I wouldn't be opposed to a Garrett Wilson trade. Now, as far as DeAndre Hopkins, as far as a Mike Williams, I think a DeAndre Hopkins move would be okay. I just think DeAndre's been dealing with some injuries. I think he's a phenomenal ball player, super athlete, an amazing player. However, he's been dealing with some injuries. I know Cooper Kupp has also, but it's an ankle sprain type thing, and he is cleared this week to play. And if you're the Steelers, you want to scoop him up before he plays another game with the Rams and potentially comes off the market because he re-injures himself or something like that. Playing for a team that potentially, he's got to go out there and kill himself for to be able to get a W. Maybe moving over with the Steelers, not having to have as big a role would, preserve Cooper a little bit, prolong his career a little bit more. Again, but I think the two most important things in my eyes, the two moves that would be the most significant, that matters the most, would be Cooper Kupp or Garrett Wilson. I think if you could chase either one of those two guys, I think that could have real potential and ramifications for this season in a real positive way. And if you're the Steelers, guys, the time is now. The opportunity is now. If you're this franchise, what else do you need to see in order to know that there is a window that has cracked open for you? You have to capitalize on that. And I know the Steelers are conservative, man. They're ultra conservative in many aspects of this game. They're conservative in their moves, in their drafts, in their trades. But right now, I think it's a time that you rip off that little conservative Band-Aid and you really just dive in. Because, again, You have an exuberant amount of cap space next year. You have quarterbacks that are on cheap deals this year. You have the defense. You have the special teams. And hopefully you have the system and the scheme and the coaches in place in order to get this thing done. And there's just no better time than right now to do it. And you don't miss out. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to potentially waste an opportunity to chase a Lombardi trophy because they don't come around often, guys. And to have 6 Lombardis in that trophy case is absolutely crazy. It's freakish because there's teams out there that have never even won one. And the Pittsburgh Steelers understand how difficult it is to catch a Lombardi trophy and to gain a championship. And hopefully they're smart enough to realize that this right now is that chance. This right now is that opportunity to be major competitors, major key teams inside a key team inside of this AFC race, a key team inside of the AFC North. And right now you're neck and neck with the Baltimore Ravens, and you need to get yourself a little bit of a leg up. And what better way to do that either with Cooper Kupp or Garrett Wilson? That's my opinion. I think that really takes this Steelers team to a whole new level and suddenly makes them very, very dangerous. And if I were an opposing team, I wouldn't want to play a Pittsburgh Steelers team that is hot and cranking in the back half of the season because it could spell real big trouble for opposing teams because the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't been in this situation in quite some time, but yet this franchise knows how to capitalize when the iron is hot. They know how to get it done. And the 6 Lombardi trophies inside of the trophy case prove that. So that's not Jason saying that, just because I say it, that's the truth. No, the Steelers have proven that over time and throughout their franchise history. And if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, buckle your damn seatbelt because today could be the day. And I think it could get done by the end of business today, no later than by the end of the week. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers add somebody to that wide receiver room. And we are going to see exactly how significant of a move it really is. All right, guys, join us tonight at about 7:45, 8 o'clock for Steel City Live, the best damn live show on the internet right now, man. Get out there and get on YouTube here and come and support us. Sharing, liking, subscribing, super chats are welcome. We truly appreciate all of those. Those have really helped here as of late. We're trying to build that revenue stream back up to create better and better content. It isn't for Jason to make money because I don't make any money. I make very, very little. And what I do make, I put back into this channel and I put back into you guys. So let's continue to do that. And I'll keep reinvesting to make sure that you guys continually get more and more and more out of this channel and out of this community that you have built here at Mike Drop Sports. So until tonight, man, I'm Jason, and I'll see you then, my friends. Peace.